Okay. So I'm back, and I'm like, okay. So the update is about this whole will thing. And even though she had a will from the time of, within her being pregnant, and even with a will boo, you cannot get that and predict life too firmly, okay? But gotta talk about this here. And so they got people fussing and all that kind of stuff like that. So she had about, if none of her children survive her, so much go between her mom, her brothers, and her husband. Now, she did have a prenup, which would, to me, being due to the circumstances, situations, if or whatever like that, so even if it's 10 or 40 years from now, whatever like that. That's why I definitely, that anything happen with Bobbi would definitely be the end of the Whitney Houston. Then they have to find, there'll be some new stars made that will be filling those shoes in. And like I did report on the previous video, or I wrote it up, one or the other one, is that Dion was, she was in tabloids, and very much the incidents that she was accused or whatever, claimed in or whatever. Her stuff were very similar to Whitney's, except the domestic violence. I'm not aware of that as a tabloid issue compared to the ones of Whitney, but they've had parallel, or say similar parallel, to the tabloids. This whole thing with the will part, people fussing out Bobbi should get because he's the closest to Bobbi Kristina. Sissy is mean, and she thought that Bobbi would. People like who they want to like, okay? People just to be trying to be too pet picking about the wrong things, okay? And then Sissy did have written in a book about Bobbi Kristina's name was gonna be Takika or some Tatika, something like that. Whitney don't even look like she would name her child anything like that. Maybe something in the spinoff of La Princia. Um, you know, um, it's good that La Princia hasn't had that shadow light as her dad and her bonus, her bonus mom. And I seen a video where, Whitney had them out the country. Like she was very much relaxed when she did her international tours. She, had her children, there on the show. But it's like, oh. So this whole weird thing is like, if that's her husband now, she didn't plan on him being her ex-husband, especially to have him in a will. Especially if her children are not there. I just did that. I just have to say that from getting the, from the information that's being reported and my response from there for it. So whether Bobbi should get anything or get the whole amount, I mean, her mother, she was close with her mother, and her mother is in her will. So whether it be divided, I don't know how to respond to that. It has pet. It's like, it's one of those situations where you don't want your name nowhere up in that will, or in the will of nobody that's up in that will. You don't want your name, your children's name, no on where on that. It's like, y'all get pay me cash. Matter of fact, y'all go get me some anonymous savings bonds, something. And they got too much stuff on camera. You can't do nothing in private. If anything, just go tell a bird, pick that money up and drop it off anonymously to you. That's the only way that you're going to be able to, have that money. Because, the media going to hound you. Just regular, everyday folks going to hound you. And let me say this here. To some average people, some people ain't serious about what they say because they'll watch The Apprentice or whatever. They're watching Housewives of Atlanta and have their number one. If you know that you got a common core mentality, or you're you ain't good to the everyday regular person. Some people won't have it in mind. Oh yeah, Whitney, she's so beautiful. Whitney. I wish I was around her as her friend. I would treat her the best person. You don't treat the everyday person like that, so you wouldn't be no better around a celebrity. Well, I'm going back to my quote: preparation meet opportunity. So if your heart isn't, you know what I'm saying, it's hard for a lot of people. They start off good, and then when they get into the celebrity world, and then they see other people treat the celebrity bad, and then some people get bad, they only become picking up those ways, or they become so void and null. They don't necessarily do no evil, but they can't help the person and really, take shadow in of the good person that they was before they got with this celebrity. So nobody can, you know what I'm saying? People can love our music and all that kind of stuff like that, but behind the scenes, on side the scenes, all that kind of stuff, But get there and take your life from that to take her life and put it into the reality of the everyday. You need to live your life and treat people and be around people and so forth like that. But as I'm gonna go back and say on this video here. She sold 110 million albums worldwide, and she couldn't please everybody. I ain't about to get there and make myself feel bad about not no pet pick and stuff like that. So this whole little weird thing, if Bobbi should get anything, he should be happy whatever courteous he gets. So whether he just get 1%, 10%, 0.01% him, and he married a whole nother woman. And I'm told he got some barbecue sauce. I don't know much about it. That's new info, just hearing about that. But my whole, whatever he get, he should be happy with it. But I'm sure my prerogative and don't be cruel should at least be making it should be making enough for him to have a place to stay now, be and bounce back off his feet. And I'm sure, that woman, she had a baby and possibly pregnant. I'm gonna say possibly because to me, until you really showing, you don't need to be announcing nothing about you pregnant. That just that's most of people start digging up in your business. So So, I'm going to say Sissy and her brothers or whomever she was close with. But the thing is, I don't hear nothing about the godchildren getting no money. Like, she have a few godchildren, so, not saying that Bobbi Kristina have to share her share as living. Everything should have went to her daughter. But it would have helped if she was definitely more responsible and mature. A lot of people want to be there and want the fun, but they don't want to put the responsible tag in the whole equation. And, that's no solution when you don't want to do that. Let's put math is universal. So definitely, I know, I'm aware of at least the girl Brandy was a godchild. She's grown. And then BB Wine's daughter is a godchild. I'm sure she probably had maybe some other godchildren, like that she honored and put in writing, Oh gosh, that's a difficult situation, especially, I'm sure while she was writing this will down, she was thinking of every equation, and that probably was stressful, and it probably depressed her. She probably walked around and probably did like, gosh, I have to really go through this all life. Like, you're born in the world, and you have to figure this world out. Ain't nobody, they ain't holding no punches too much. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It's like a deck of cards, and that's what you're born into. Life is a gamble. And many people sometimes has to, travel, travel with bags, like the song Bag Lady. And so definitely, definitely tune in to have other videos on the channel. Definitely reply, subscribe, and share. So definitely tell you too much math. Oh gosh, I tell you, I don't want to think about this no more. I'm going to go there, keep base. I'm a novice, base, and blessed, and balance. I'm gonna say balance. So definitely, let's get ready to kick off NYC 2015. Hashtag State BP. Hashtag BP now. TTYL.